Good afternoon, everybody. We are Colorado's Gays for Trump. We don't claim that we represent the entire gay community. We are just two gay individuals who happen to be a couple that do support Donald Trump, and we share our viewpoints with you on why we feel Trump is best for the presidency.
Right. I think it's important because we get a lot of questions, and I think we get more hate from the regressive left than we've ever gotten from conservative people. We have our Periscope channel, and we do it every night at 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And I think it's just important for everybody to realize that the regressive left, they are tolerant until you say something that they don't agree with. And then they call you a racist and a bigot and all sorts of horrible things just because they don't have anything else to back themselves up. And that's why we are making a stand, and we are trying to explain our position so much better to everybody else, just because we feel like Trump is going to be the best person for gays in this country. I think he puts everybody as America first as a whole. He doesn't subdivide people into black, gay, Mexicans, unlike Hillary Clinton, who says, oh, you're gay, so I have to give you special treatment, and here's how I'm going to help you, and let me cater to you. I think it's just so important for Trump to be like, you know what, we're all Americans, let's do this together, this is where our country needs to be.
Exactly, and he talks to everybody as an American, not as, like he said, the separate groups, and you're different, you need special rights, you're different, you need different special rights. He says, you know what, if you're the best of the best and you're qualified, then let's go get them.
Right.
And on our Periscope, so everything we do is a politic voice, the letter A, politic voice, one word. It's our YouTube, it's our Twitter, it's our Periscope, so you can find us anywhere with a politic voice.
Right.
But on our Periscope, we get a lot of people coming in that say, oh, gays for Trump, is this a joke? That's the most contradictory thing I've ever heard. We had an individual last night who was saying he has fought for the past 40 years so that we could sit here and do this and have our freedom. As a gay individual, he fought for us, and we continue to ask him over and over and over again, what did you do specifically that has let us have these freedoms that you say we have? And his only response was, I don't need to tell you, look it up. And we rebutted back with him that, you know what, we can look it up. We can find what gay people have done to help out the gay community and get us where we are today. But we were asking him specifically what he has done, because he made it sound like, he fought tooth and nail and put his life on the line in order to help gay rights, but he was not able to give one specific thing that he did as an individual.
Right. And I think just to summarize everything that we do agree with gay marriage. We want gay marriage for all individuals. Why? Because we live in a secular society, separation of church and state. It's always been that way. The biblical definition of marriage, while I respect it and understand it, it's not something that we should be abiding by from a sweeping across the country decision. I think that the government recognizes marriage as what they should recognize it for, which is, where the money goes, where it comes from, who's paying taxes, that kind of thing. And that's why, equal marriage is extremely important. But we do live in a secular society. And while we are supporting Trump and we understand the conservative platform, we just don't agree that social issues are the things this election that are going to matter. I think our country is in such a terrible place economically, such a terrible place, such a terrible standing in the world, that we really need to focus on those things more so than social issues. Because if we're focusing on social issues like Hillary Clinton does every single day, we're not going to get anywhere. Our country's going to fall apart left and right like it has been for the past 20 years. And so I really think somebody like Donald Trump is going to focus on what matters, and that's why we support him.
And another thing on our Periscope that we get all the time is, what has Trump done for the gays?
Right.
And, I mean, the 5 major points that we start out with is, in the late 80s and early 90s, he donated money to AIDS research and gay men's health back when AIDS was a gay disease.
Right.
He even held a benefit at the Trump Taj Mahal in order to earn money for these charities. In 2000, he gave an interview with The Advocate saying that the 1964 Civil Rights Act should be amended to include gays. In 2005, he openly praised Elton John for getting married, even though it wasn't a marriage, but he called it one. And he's credited as one of the first private club owners in Florida to openly allow gays into his clubs. And then the most recent thing that I don't know why people brush over this because it's such a huge thing is Pete Thiel speaking at the RNC, an openly gay conservative, saying, I'm gay, I'm a Republican, but most importantly, I'm an American first. And he got a standing ovation. Never before has an openly gay person not only talked at the RNC, but been invited personally. That's a huge, huge breakthrough for the party.
Right, absolutely. And I think Trump is the only Republican that has ever stood on stage and say, LGBT, I'm going to protect you. Think of that. From a Republican candidate, the guy that's supposed to be on the, religious, right-wing, Christian conservative GOP side, Trump stood in front of America and said, LGBT, I'm going to protect you. And while he's not sitting there, putting us in little boxes and saying, oh, I'm going to care for you specially, what he is doing is saying, you know what? We are at a time in the GOP where we need to all come together. All conservatives need to come together. It's not just about hardcore Christian conservatives anymore. In my opinion, the GOP is broken, and we need to be accepting of all conservatives, because that's what truly made this country great, is conservatism. And so Trump represents that for me, and that's why I support him, and that's why you should support him too. Just every time you see Hillary Clinton pull out a minority group just so that she can talk about, she's going to talk about a sad story about it first so that it's an emotional appeal. She's going to get you hooked with her emotions first, and then she's going to say, we need special treatment for this particular group in America. No, we don't. We all have equal rights now, as far as I know, and right now we need to be focused on what really matters in this country.
Exactly, and by, picking out the LGBT community and saying, do you know what, you guys are different, we need to separate you, we need to give you special attention. Do you know what, black people, you're different, we need to give you special attention. Latinos and Latinas, or left-handed people, whomever it may be, by separating them into these groups and saying that they need special attention is only further dividing them. Why not look at everybody as a whole, like Donald Trump does? He talks about Americans. He talks to Americans. He doesn't get up on his high horse and say, do you know what, black people, I am going to do the best job that any president has ever done for you, like Obama has done. And it's actually been the worst 8 years for the African American community under him. It's been a steady decline with them. It's absolutely ridiculous. And my opinion, I don't know if you share this with me or not, but when are people going to open their eyes and realize that Democrats separate people to think that they are different and they're dependent on the government and on the Democrats to help them get through these times, when if you treat everybody the same, they're all going to have the same benefits, all have the same rights, all have the same equalization, and we can move forward as a country as a whole.
Instead of fighting each other. I think that's what it is. It's the division. The Democrats are creating a division, and they're fighting each other. And the Democrats win every single time because they do that. Whereas we need to focus on becoming America as a whole and moving America forwards in one united way. And the only person that has ever represented that to me is Donald Trump.
And it's surprising to me on our Periscope that we have such a support group of conservatives, both gay and straight, that they're just, wow, we're proud of you guys for doing this. I can't believe you're speaking your mind. You're so brave. And then we get the liberals that say we're a disgrace to the gay community. We don't speak for the entire gay community, which we've never claimed we do.
They call us racists and bigots.
And they're supposed to be so accepting, but they talk about how they want to, come find us and they're going to beat us up and this, that, and everything else. But at the end of the day, we're not part of the gay community. We're not part of the left-handed community. We are Americans. Anything we do, we represent ourselves as Americans first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everybody needs to understand. By continuing to say, oh, I'm part of the LGBT community, oh, I'm part of the black community, you are sticking yourself into that segregated group.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. absolutely. And we need to rise above it, and we need to get along with each other. And sure, there's going to be situations that not everybody gets along. We get that. We understand that. But as far as this goes right now, where we are in this country, it needs to be about our economy. It needs to be about our security, and it needs to be about eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, and this, political machine that we see every single election. It's about eliminating all those things, and it's so important, guys. And this is our plea. This is what we are going to do. We are not paid by anybody in the Trump organization. We are not paid by anyone, anything. We have been together for 3 years. We just are fed up with seeing our country fall apart.
And we're ready to do something about it. We're ready to take actions into our own hands.
Right, absolutely. And that's why we do this. So please subscribe, and please let us know your comments, and tweet us if you want to. Visit our Periscope, whatever you need.
And definitely, we definitely want people to subscribe to us so that we can help get our message out and get feedback from people. And we're not just looking for our core group of Trump supporters, because we know they're out there and we know that they're going to stand behind what we say. We want everybody to follow us. We want open, healthy conversations, discussions.
Right.
We want somebody to come at us and say, hey, do you know what? Hillary Clinton is the best presidential candidate because of reason X, Y, Z. We've been doing this for just about 3 months now, and we've yet to see one person actually step forward and say, hey, do you know what? Hillary Clinton is the bomb because of this.
Right.
We can't find that anywhere.
Right.
Everybody's voting for her because she's not Trump.
Right.
Or I'm a Democrat at heart. I feel that, our core beliefs are shared, so I have to vote for Hillary. We want somebody to come out and openly, honestly debate us and say, hey, do you know what? You make good points, but what about this?
Right.
So that we can say, hey, you know what? We've never thought of it that way.
Right. And just so everybody knows, on our Periscope we have call-ins every night, so you're welcome to call in so that we can have an open, honest discussion over the phone. And you will be amazed that not a lot of Hillary Clinton supporters call and defend her, and actually 0. We've had 0 Hillary Clinton supporters call in and defend her, and I think that's very telling.
We did have one Hillary Clinton supporter call in a couple nights ago, but it turned out, as we mentioned on previous YouTube,
right.
It was an anti-Trump supporter.
Right.
It was not a Hillary Clinton supporter.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting.
Right, absolutely.
But definitely, please subscribe to us. A Politic Voice is our handle for everything. It's our YouTube, it's our Twitter, it's our Periscope, it's our Gmail,
yeah.
It's everything. We're definitely looking to get out to a lot of people. So please subscribe, please follow us. A Politic Voice. Share with your friends.
And we will see you on Periscope tonight.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.